Hello and welcome back, everybody. It is August 6th. We're back with another MLB DFS slate breakdown. We already got one slate going today, and now we're going to be talking about main slate. I think it's going to be a pretty fun night. It's only 5 games, but we are going to get after it. Yesterday was a great day. We're going to start by going over the perfect lineups from yesterday and then get into the winning lineups and all that good stuff. But before we do, come join us at LineStar. $39.99 per month gets you access to all we do. The DFS, the props, the best ball, you get it all. Also, if you have not already tried us out, go to the app stores, Android or iOS, and you can get a free 7-day trial. Eddie, welcome back. Thank you for joining again. I'm glad you hit at least. Maybe you didn't bet as much as you normally did, but hey, a win is a win, and maybe we can do it again today. I'm sorry you're having trouble at DFS, but hey, DFS is hard. You're going to win or you're going to lose a lot more than you win, even more so than with parlays. But, you know, it's hard to get those big takedown in DFS, but we almost got one yesterday. Brandon, welcome. Let's go. Thanks for joining us. Always a pleasure to see you in the good old LineStar chat. Now, let's get after it. Let's start off by the perfect lineups. Unfortunately, I don't have the DraftKings winning lineup right now. So we're going to skip that one, but we will still go over the DraftKings perfect lineup. Zach Littell just went absolutely nuts. 7,500, and the man put up 31. His best performance of the year by a good bit. 7 innings, 92 pitches, 1 earned run, 8 Ks was just a very, very solid performance. We talked about how it was better pitching conditions at Wrigley due to the wind blowing in today, and it definitely showed up, or yesterday for Littell. It's also the similar situation today. Then Emmett Shaheen was one of the lower owned cheap value pitchers that we liked, and he did enough. 5 innings on 76 pitches and 5 Ks. 2-man Padres stacks got it done, and 2-man Dodgers, and then all one-offs. It was kind of a day you just wanted to play the guys a little later in the slate. On to FanDuel. Perfect lineup. Littell got it done. 2-man Toronto, 2-man Dodgers, a Bogart sighting, and all one-offs, with the winning lineup going to LMFAO, your face, with 309.8. Just an absolute wild score. 4-man Toronto, 4-man Dodgers got it done. 309.8. I came out with 8th yesterday, had a little bit of a sweat, but look how far away I was. 167.6. Just crazy, the difference. I had the Colorado side instead of the Toronto side, and Orlando Arcia and Brenta Doyle just let me down. 2 low-owned pieces that just didn't bring it up for me. Unfortunately, we live to fight another day. And now let's get after it with some today's slate, main slate talk. Shout out to all of you joining in. Very much appreciate it. All right. So our highest owned right now is looking like Jonathan Cannon. Now, before I get into anything, I think all of this is going to move around quite a bit between Cannon, Spring, Strider, Kirby. I think all those ownerships are going to be fairly fluid today. Kirby, Strider will be higher owned, I think, than the others two. Both in great spots. So Jonathan Cannon, 5,800, he's just popping up because he is so cheap, and it is looking like a day where you either go dual pay up or you go with one of the pay up options on Strider Kirby and then one paid down option. Right now, it does look like Cannon may be a preferred option. He is only 5,800. He can get you those, high teens, maybe low 20s. He's done it a few times, 4.86 FIP over his last 20. Personally, I don't like facing this Seattle offense right now with a guy that's giving up 35% hard contact versus an offense that's hitting the ball super hard versus righties. 228 ISO is just super high. They're also getting on base. It's not an easy matchup for Jonathan Cannon. And personally, I will probably go elsewhere. I think 5,800 just isn't cheap enough with a guy that doesn't have a ton of upside. Next, we got Jeffrey Springs, 6,800. Now, this is a spot I am absolutely interested in. 4.82 FIP over his last 20, doesn't give us a whole lot of confidence here, nor does a 19% K rate, but at least over the last 5, 4.29 FIP and a 20.7% K rate. He is allowing 45% fly balls, which is a pretty high number, but it's just not a ton of hard contact. And the splits right now for Washington versus lefties is just rough. Over the last 20 games, 204 average, super low ISO, low WOBA. And then over the last 150, it's really not that much different. A little bit better, but they have just been poor versus lefties, and they're striking out a ton. 26.7 over the last 20. I actually like the spot for Springs quite a bit. I thought he may come in a little lower after kind of doing my review. Was a little surprised to see him high owned, but I definitely like the spot, and he is one of my pay down options that I would prefer today. Now, Strider and Kirby, these two guys are the obvious pay up options, the only pay up options. And I would say I'm probably going to get one of them in every single lineup of mine. And Kirby's just been dealing. The other thing is he's much better at home. This is a game where he is going to be at home. He has a 2.95 FIP over his last 5 with a 27.7% K rate. Over the last 20, 3.74 and 23% K rate. StatCast data is good. A lot of fly balls, but at least he's going against a White Sox team that's really not that good. They have been hitting better lately, so I got to give them credit there. But over the bigger body of work, this team just really isn't that good. And I don't mind trying to take advantage of it. We have almost a 24% combined K rate versus the White Sox here. And the thing with Kirby, and we've said this, so many times on the show, is that his K rate is like a full K per 9 higher at home versus away. I don't mind eating some chalk and going with Kirby. Next, we got Spencer Strider. I would prefer Kirby today over Strider, but I absolutely do not mind going to Strider. The ceiling is higher than Kirby. It is very doubtful that Strider or that Kirby will come out and get like a double-digit 12K game. And yes, Brandon, I 100% agree with you that they will come down to earth very, very soon. It is very doubtful they're going to keep hitting like this, but we're talking about one game sample size here, and they absolutely can do it. Now, Spencer Strider. This is not the Spencer Strider we remember from a couple years ago. 4.32 FIP over his last 20. 4.32. 4.58 over the last 5. K rate still in that 27%, but he is giving up a ton of hard contact. A lot of barreled balls for only 56 batted balls. I am absolutely a little scared to go with Strider versus a team like Milwaukee that is playing very well right now. 267 opponent average, 333 WOBA, very solid numbers, decent ISO here, not great, just decent. It is an above average ISO. All in all, I think Strider is mine, but I have some hesitation. I do prefer Kirby over Strider today, but that ceiling of Strider is just unmatched on this slate. So I don't mind getting a little bit when he is on. He is a guy, that can really rack up those strikeouts. Now, the last pivot I want to go over is Nasty Nestor Cortez. He is now on the Padres. He had 4 rehab outings in AAA. Was absolutely dealing like a 1.8 ERA or something like that. The issue is that he topped out around 63 pitches, but all 4 starts were right around that. I would expect him to be able to go at least 80-ish. And over the last 20 starts, he's at 82 pitches. So that's, almost fully stretched out here. And unfortunately, it's only a, 13 fantasy points per game there. But I think the ceiling kind of outcome in an 80 pitch outcome is high enough to make it warrant. I mean, he put up 28 and he's only 6,900. If he can get us into those low 20s, it makes for a very interesting spot. And Arizona just is not as good versus lefties. We've talked about it. They sold at the deadline. They just don't have as many good bats, especially when it comes versus a lefty. The fact that they traded off Naylor and Suarez hurts them even more so against lefties. All in all, I think it's a very interesting spot. I think he should be going a little bit higher owned. People are going to be a little scared to play him because he's just coming back from the IL, but I like the spot. I think the ceiling is there. And now let's get over to FanDuel. See what we got for our high ownership on pitcher here. No surprise, it's Kirby and Strider. I do think Springs is the obvious one to get it a little different. I think people may play Waka a little bit after that really good outing he had versus Toronto. At Toronto, he is much worse away. And so that ceiling outcome there was a little bit surprising. I don't really want to get to Waka today. If I do a little bit, at least the ceiling is there. There is a little bit of safety, but I'm going to mainly play probably Kirby, Strider, maybe a little bit of Springs. And Nestor, I do worry about on FanDuel just because that 6 innings and that quality start is such a big boost. And I think that in only 80 pitches, it's doubtful that we get there for Nestor today. So Nestor, I'm probably not going with you, but 6,700 is super, super cheap. So if I get, a little bit, I'm okay with it. But I think the ceiling outcomes for Kirby, Strider versus everybody else is just hard to get away from today on FanDuel. All right, let's get over to some stacks now. And we will start off with our high-owned stacks. We got the Padres versus DeScalafini. Hard to argue with this one. We got a game total of 1 higher than everywhere else. It's the best hitting ballpark of the night. And the hitting weather today isn't really a differentiator either. Most of the winds are all blowing in or blowing side field. I think Padres are in a good spot. And versus right-handed pitching, I think they're absolutely going to go on some tears after the trade. Sheets and O'Hearn were not in the lineup yesterday. I would expect at least one of them to be in the lineup today. And that just makes that lineup so much better. Iglesias probably out and Machado back at third. Now, A's are popping up versus Cade here. Cade's been okay, but a very, very small sample size. I don't mind going with the A's after that just absolutely eruption of an outing last night where they put up 16 runs. Bangaliers just banged it all night long, 3 home runs. What a night from the A's. So I don't mind going back there a little bit. Also, Royals are popping up against Dustin May. Dustin May making his first start versus for the Red Sox. I don't mind attacking him a little bit as he's just not the same as he was a few years ago. I don't absolutely love the stack, but don't mind getting a little bit. Our highest projected now, we got Braves versus Quintana. You never really know what you're going to get from Quintana at this point in his career. 5.84 FIP over the last 5 does warrant some consideration for these Brave stacks. And where their prices are, it is a little bit interesting. There's definitely some love there. Oh, and sorry, that was actually the lowest projection were Braves. Highest is A's and Padres, which is no surprise because they're also some of the higher owned ones. Our highest value, we got Arizona versus Nasty Nestor. Nasty Nestor is making his first start. Makes total sense to want to get some Arizona. They also can get it done in multiple ways. So I think Arizona, while they're cheap, have some upside, can steal some bases. They are interesting. Milwaukee versus Spencer Strider. There's going to be leverage here. Versus Strider, it's not like they're going to be super high owned, so I absolutely have some interest to Milwaukee. White Sox versus Kirby. Not really for me in this spot. If you want to get some, it does make total sense, but I just think they are going to come back down to earth soon. I don't think they continue to hit this well, even though they have some really nice prospects. I think they're just playing over their head a little bit right now, and it's not a stack for me. Our high ceiling spots, we got A's popping up. So A's are all over it today. They're high on the projected, high on ownership, high on ceiling. Might be a little bit hard to get away from them. Seattle versus Cannon makes a ton of sense to me, and there is going to be some leverage if people like that Cannon cheap aspect. And leverage, we got Boston popping up versus Waka. I absolutely love this Boston stack, and it is one that I will be getting to. Roman Anthony, as of yesterday, was expected back in the lineup. I haven't seen any updates today. He did just sign a new contract. If he's back in the lineup, I'd very much like this Boston stack, and he's just a big boost to their team as a whole. Let's click the teams tab here before we round it out. It's going to be a little bit of a quicker show just because it's only 5 games. We got an implied run total of 5 for the Padres. I'm going in on my Padres today. I like their spot. That bullpen is bad. D. Scalafini isn't a great pitcher at this point in his career. And, he never was really that great. So I'm all in there. Arizona at 4.5. Don't mind a little bit, but I also like Nasty Nestor. It is a spot where I don't mind playing both sides. Now, the issue with going against this Padres team now is this bullpen is very, very good. Diamondbacks got to Mason Miller yesterday, but I think it's going to be hard to continually get over on that Padre bullpen. A's versus the Washington. Give me the A's versus that bad bullpen. I think the A's and Padres are clearly 2 of the better stacks of the day. And then I also love Washington, as we covered, and Seattle. Don't mind a little bit of Atlanta, but yeah, I don't totally like it. And yes, Eddie, thank you for reminding me. Smash that like button. Make sure to comment, subscribe to our channel, all that stuff. It just helps us so much. And, expanding our reach and helping our little small team or our company grow here. KC versus May would be my favorite lower owned stack. All in all, guys, I think it's going to be a fun slate. KC, Seattle, Boston, A's, Padres are my favorite, with the Padres being my very favorite stack of the day, as I just think the Padres are going to be crushing right-handed pitching down the stretch here. That will do it for us today, guys. I hope you guys have a great day. Hope you win some money. We're going to be back in a little bit with the prop show, probably right around 12 o'clock Pacific time for the props. We've been on a good run over there. Let's keep it going. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. And tomorrow there won't be a DFS show, as Unfortunately, there is only like 2 late games, but we'll be back with more on Friday. Talk to you all later. You have a good one. Bye, guys.